It is hard for me to imagine a more vulnerable person in our state than a child who has experienced such serious abuse or neglect within their family unit that they no longer have a family.
Foster care is unique. There's so many kids in foster care throughout the state.
A project like this is a great springboard.
It raises the bar on everything else we have.
To care about the most vulnerable in our state shows our values as Iowans.
I want people to know that Ellipsis youth are all of our youth and that we need to take care of them. Ellipsis is a provider of all kinds of services and programs to try to help kids and families figure out what's next.
Ellipsis has been a really critical partner to the state in serving kids who have therapeutic needs, supervision needs, treatment needs.
It's the great services your organization provides, but even better, it's the outcomes and how that affects the kids in Central Iowa.
Ellipsis really hopes that kids can always be with their families. That's not always true. And so we try to figure out what's the next best alternative.
And Ellipsis is great. It's a product of change, right? It's the product of a merger of two great organizations.
And with the merger, you take legacy names of youth homes and Yes, and you introduce a new name.
There was a handoff in a lot of instances from Yes to youth homes. Kids that were in the emergency shelter then became residents in the group care setting.
But also by putting them together, you've got a continuum of service that we just weren't able to provide independently. So coming together really helps that.
And it was a great example of folks thinking bigger and thinking about how to put two things together to better serve the community and the clients they do.
These individuals really require the most of us if we're going to have positive outcomes for them and care for them, and kids become adults.
I think it's important to the community. It's most important to the kids, because then kids just have a place to stay.
Supervised apartment living is the smallest foster care program of all the programs that are out there. And so typically a kid that's coming into supervised apartment living, it's kind of their last stop. We develop a treatment plan, obviously, for all of our clients. It's all about your daily living skills. What do you need to work on? What are you doing well with on a daily basis?
It's really just helping them be prepared for when they are 18 or over, done with school, what do I want to do, and just anything and everything.
At Ellipsis, I feel like I can talk to some of the staff about my feelings.
The staff there are freaky smart. I don't know what it is. They must have degrees in something else, just want to work with kids.
And then they're not like judging you either. They're just listening.
And then once they help you enough, they'll be like, hey, you got to try it on your own.
I feel like I've grown in a lot of aspects.
I'm really grateful for places like this, because without it, I wouldn't be anything. For real, I wouldn't. They're just helping me succeed in ways that I never thought I could.
We're sitting in the space where we are building apartments for our supervised apartment living youth in our cluster independent living program. We are trying to get these kids ready to be adults and live on their own. These apartments will be places where kids can live in their very own entire apartment.
We've always been leaders. We've always been kind of the starters with regard to treatment and how we do things, but our spaces have not been.
And so this is going to be a brand new space specifically for supervised apartment living.
This building that we're in right now is, individual rooms, they have their own space, but it's still a shared living.
We have a shared kitchen, we have a shared bathroom.
And so we really talked about how could we get them to have their own apartments and working through a lot of that.
So instead of coming into a cluster site where you're with a bunch of other clients and you're in this living space, you're now going to your own living space in that process. That hasn't happened for me in 22 years, so that's pretty cool.
Hasn't happened in the state.
Yeah.
The state can really see the value in this project. It's an extension of the passionate and thoughtful leadership that takes place at Ellipsis.
The kids that we're serving in this program, particularly right now, live in a space that's not built for the program that we're attempting to provide.
You walk down that hallway and it's a big living space where everybody's at. That's not an apartment. That's not somewhere you can be yourself.
Sharing their living space, sharing their kitchen, sharing bathrooms, all of those things.
Like, you have a bunch of people watching you.
Privacy means a lot to me.
Like your kitchen, everybody uses the same kitchen, and it gets messy really quick.
You have to share a lot more. And some of the kids, some of them get hungry and then they just take food that's not theirs. So that's what I'm most excited for, is my own fridge.
It definitely does have a mental effect on, sometimes even physical.
And so they'll be able to walk into their own apartment with their own living room, their own kitchen, their own bathroom, their own bedroom. That's gonna be just amazing.
To have my own space gives me more privacy and I get to be more independent. That's what I like, because that way I can just be by myself.
I feel like that is a big part of being an adult, is having your own living space.
Home is where you feel at ease, where you feel safe.
Chris had actually approached us in the end of May of 2022. They're a nonprofit. Nonprofits are used to making do, and so we really wanted to get them to dream a little bit. They're not used to reaching.
We have spent a lot of time contemplating how to make the best use of our resources.
We did look at a few different options within the building. There were some areas that we could renovate and convert.
Ultimately, it tells a story when you're able to, take a property and just go through renovation, and it's a little bit more sustainable. It's reusing a bunch of empty space that truly just wasn't being utilized for them. It wasn't serving them.
It's well known at Ellipsis that kids are at the center of every decision that we make, and it's really cool to watch other people grab onto that.
What can we do just to make these spaces feel better? What can we do just to make these spaces feel livable, having a sense of safety, so everything has just a little bit more warmth? We don't want it to feel like a commercial building. We want it to give kind of that character and element of home.
It's so much more beneficial for their mental health. It's so much more beneficial for preparing them for the future. I mean, what space as an adult do you live with other people without choice?
This is one program and it's 12 kids at a time, and it's super important, and I think it's a fantastic place to start, but we have a lot of work to do.
So it kind of shines a light on the other areas that we need to focus on.
Sadly, there's no shortage of great opportunities to serve kids or projects to tackle.
It's just another step in our holistic approach at Ellipsis.
I see myself in 5 to 10 years being a mechanic and knowing like a bunch of stuff about cars.
Hopefully on my own. Have a dog. I want a dog. Yeah, that's all. Just have my own place and have a dog.
I see myself as being really successful. I feel like I can be successful, and with that mindset, I will be.
The message that we're sending to the state and to other providers of this is how it should be, this is what our kids deserve, other people are hearing that.
Kids in foster care deserve something that we call normalcy. Ellipsis being brave and bold and building a program that is really integrated in the community, it's a reflection of their philosophy that kids deserve that normalcy.
This one helps provide individualized living for our kids so that they have the dignity of their own space, and it's just a beautiful place.
You ready?
Let's go!
That's LeBron, definitely.